Well, welcome. We're doing the 9 elements of interspirituality and looking at that as we go forth. We started out with the actualized moral capacity. We went into that concept of our interdependentness. We talked about our nonviolence because of that interdependentness, and then we did speak about having humility because of that, right? We're all connected, and that'd be a little more humble and see. So now we're into this idea of spiritual practice. And a lot of times when I would talk about this, I would give you all the reasons why you should be doing your spiritual practice, all the benefits. There are benefits for doing a spiritual practice. So I thought I'd go a different way today and talk more about the process of spiritual practice. Like what happens to us? Like, this is a big thing for me too. It's taking these concepts and internalizing them. That's the most important thing that we need to do. Many of us have read many books, right? You've read many spiritual, probably your libraries are amazing, right? We have an amazing library downstairs, amazing libraries, have lots of information, facts, stuff you can spew to everybody, but internalizing them, making them a part of your being, that takes that practice to bring that in. That takes that time that you take to see how you can integrate those things. Why? Because we need to continue to change who we are so that we can unfold to the greatness of because who we are is so big. It's what the universe has told us to be, right? We are made of stardust. We are part of the universe. We are in this. We need to unfold that. We all talk about energy and being in our energy. Well, being in our energy, one of the things that we need to do as people doing energy work is to get rid of the analyzer. The analyzer, that little one in the head that analyzes the whole circumstance and situation and doesn't feel because it's too busy analyzing. We can do just a quick visualization and pretend you have like a light switch in your head when the analyzer goes off and just turn it off. It's simple, but practice of doing it makes it really worthwhile and makes it do something in our lives. And we need to do it because this idea of opening ourselves up and transforming who we are, it's really good because we need to have this balance between our intuition and our thinking, right? Spiritual practice opens up our intuition. Well, we're all thinkers, right? The mind, all day long. But we want to balance that out, so you get rid of it, balance that out with your intuition. Your ability to feel, to have a knowingness, to have a sense, to be able to sense more, to be in tune with that. So we have to, again, last week we talked about that idea of humility. How many times do we go into a situation where I know all that. Worst thing you can do for yourself is to go anywhere and say, they didn't teach me anything new. You weren't paying attention. There's never nothing new going on. The world is always evolving. There's always something there. There's a spark. We don't need to look for what we already know. We need to be able to have our senses, our intuition in tune, to be awakened to another sense of where we are. Like, look, the earth is never in the same place. The sun is never in the same place. We are whizzing around the whole space. And we're getting in contact with other energies as we're doing that. As the world is spinning around, we have different energies coming at us. We need to move with those energies because if you're not growing, you're dying. To be in that shut-off place is the natural tendency that we go to, but that is not our natural way to be. We need to be alive, to be the energy beings that we are meant to be. We need to grow. Now, there's two ways that we grow. You either grow through pain. How many have gone through pain in their life here? Well, anybody? Yeah, okay. And you could either grow through pain or you can grow through insight. Spiritual practice gives you the discipline to be insightful, to feel the intuition, to want to learn, to want to awaken. So the pain pushes you to grow. Push. You need a push. insights pull you. Pull wide doors open. Pull you into a place of understanding this idea. That's why simple gratitude just opens the door. I mean, how many of you are feeling that hallelujah, that gratitude, the gratitude? Thank you. Hallelujah, thank you. Feeling that in the song. Feeling that in ourselves. We want to feel this. We want to make this stuff really alive for all of us. I had this story. I'll tell you first. You might have heard it before, but there's this story of these 3 men that were working on building this cathedral. And they had to do this work with the stone. It was very monotonous, boring work. And this one gentleman went up, the architect went up and asked the one guy, why are you doing this work? He said, because I'm going to get paid. I'm doing this work so I can get the paycheck to feed my family, and that's why I'm doing this grinding work. He asked the next guy why he's doing this work, and he says, oh, because it's good exercise, and I'm out here, and it makes me feel good, and he asked the next one, and he's like, I'm doing this because it's going to be a sacred place, and people are going to come, and they're going to be transformed, and they're going to be uplifted in their lives, and I'm going to be a part of that. Just the grinding of the rock, I'm going to be a part of that. And so years later, it came back to the architect met up with the 3 guys again, and the first one was in poverty, never moved out of his life, always looking for the next dollar, just working for that next dollar. And the middle guy, just mediocre, had what he needed, but that's it, no insight. The next guy was now an architect, was now building cathedrals and helping other people to do it. That's just a way of showing you the practice, bringing it into, everything that we do. We become it. We become the thing that, and we're not practicing to change, like to make ourselves into something that we try to envision what it would look like. Like the guy, I'm sure he wasn't thinking, I'm going to be the architect now. Right? I'm going to all of a sudden learn how to be an architect. No, he was joyfully in the moment doing the practice of gratitude for the experience to participate in doing something wonderful that was beyond himself or beyond who we think we are. That's the problem with our thinking. It leaves us in this place of just kind of going around within ourselves. And that's a place that really makes us not see the blessings that are here for us, right? And blessings are life giving us more. It's just life giving us and moving us again. So it's pulling us all these wonderful things that are here for us to have us. So I have this wonderful little steps I got from Jeffrey Allen. He's a wonderful energy worker, and he works a lot with bringing into your energy. And he talks about these simple things to do to help you on your spiritual path. Because what happens when we do spiritual practice? It starts out good, right? Because we release kind of the yucky stuff that's there, and then we're kind of good, and we're like on this pink cloud. Right? People get on pink clouds in their spiritual journey. This is really nice. Wow, the music was great. Everybody was there. And then all of a sudden now you get to a little deeper place. It looks like stairs, right? We get up. We're feeling good for a while, and all of a sudden, bang, banging into a part of the stair. And what is that? It's time to move up a little bit. Need some other layer, right? We're peeling the onion is another way to look at it. We're peeling back another layer. And so what we do, we got to go in deeper. What do we usually do? Run away. This doesn't work. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm tired of it, right? So to learn, to know, to go a little deeper all the time. And one of the things that he said is, first of all, to remember that it's simple but not easy. Right? It's simple but not easy. So the first thing when we come up upon these spiritual roadblocks, so to speak, or when we're doing it, is the first thing to do is don't blame and don't complain. Right? When something's going wrong or we're in pain, the pain is hitting us, what's the first thing we look to do? blaming people. So he says, don't do that. You know, that's not going to help you, right? You know, just pay attention and acknowledge, I'm grumpy. It's okay to let people know I'm grumpy right now. It's not their fault. They don't have to fix it or change it or do anything about it. That's just the experience that I'm having in the moment. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, there you go. So next week, everybody come grumpy.
Oh, no.
Diane's not coming. But that idea that it's okay, because when it's allowed, there's space. There's also this idea that what we do is, you know, we leave space and healing can happen. So when we first do that first part of, right, you know, not blaming or complaining, this is a wonderful, this is a unity minister, Jack Ravelli in Boulder, Colorado. When he was asked, why do bad things happen to good people? He said, they don't. He said, bad things happen to all people. Different question, right? Mm-hmm. Different insight. Because the other one is blaming. The other one is just acceptance. So with that, stop blaming, right? He says, and stop trying to figure out what feeling better will look like, because your brain can't see it. Your brain doesn't know the spiritual glory that you are capable of, right? It doesn't live in that. That's too small. The brain is too small, I mean, for the truth. We feel that, we know that. That's why you feel like your arms want to go out like this, because you know you're out here. You know, I don't exist in this, I exist in this. When you're in that feeling mode of it. So the next thing is, don't be telling everybody about it. And don't be texting it. Don't be putting it on social media. Don't be putting it on there, because then you're making it more solid. You see? Because now you're getting other people to agree on that part. This is not the truth of who you are. This is something you're going through. Have some sacred places to put it where someone is going to be able to hold the space for you to see you beyond that without telling you, fixing you, and changing you. But so that you can say it there for your healing, but not in other places where it's not safe. Where it's only going to create more chaos and more stress and worry and concern or whatever comes of it. So it's like trying to not get into that. Stay only in the safe place. But then admit that it's a growth period for yourself. I'm paying attention to it. I'm in this spot, and then now you gotta actually run your energy. You gotta take some responsibility. This is where you do the spiritual practice. Where am I? What am I doing? Jeffrey does this wonderful thing of, how we say we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Well, when we do energy work, we're always doing this, and the energy is between our hands. He says, think of your energy, yourself, inside. Do the third eye, go inside. So it's inside. You start feeling the energy in there, out, rather than just on here, right? The outside. Feel it from the inside. So it allows for all your organs, everything to be part of that wave of energy of who you are. And in this beingness, right? And work your energy. Do things. Simple things like this. Doing this, crisscrossing. Papa Rick, big on, changing the energy. Just doing this changes the energy. If you just do this a couple of times, you'll start to feel the energy moving in your body. We have meridians, different working your meridians, just moving them out, shaking it out, right? You see all the animals, right? When something bothers them, what's the first thing they do? Oh, of course, right? But we don't. We hold it in. Why is this not going away? Well, the animals just, okay, move on. Right? So energy, but you gotta practice it. You get up in the morning, if it's something's not, achy or something, shake it out. Shake it out. Get rid of it a little bit. Move it. But do it. Do it. Do it. And then bring in the gratitude. So you see, you're not just putting all this stuff. Don't put the gratitude first, because you just put the gratitude on top of a pile of, we want to clean it out. And then put the gratitude in. And then, with the gratitude, put some amusement in. Curiosity. That was interesting. Yeah. So the awareness is there for us. The awareness. So we have all of those things. I just love the way he put that together so simply to help us. And that works for all traditions, right? It works, it doesn't matter where you come from. Anybody can do this as a spiritual person wanting to make meaningful change in their lives. Now we say, okay, what about situations that just keep coming up and are never going to change? Never going to change. Well, maybe you can ask a different question. Michael Beckwith says, if situation is not going to change, it's going to be like this forever, the question I need to be asking myself for my spiritual practice is, what quality must I embody to have peace of mind with this? What quality must I embody to have peace of mind? Pay attention. The universe is moving you to form you. I always said, be careful what you pray for, you might get it. Pray for patience, and you get lots of opportunities where it said, okay, the universe says, hey, I'm giving you wanted to learn patience. Practice, practice, practice. Here it is. But if situations aren't changing, ask yourself, what are the qualities I need to do? So we see the things that can come from this, as we saw in our words of wisdom, that love takes more than the crystals and rainbows. It takes the discipline, it takes the practice. Spiritual practice will change us, will move us, and we need to change to be part of the energy that is ever changing, to be able to be aware of it, to be able to be in that, to be able to rejoice in it, to add to that, to have that energy, to be alive, to live. This is what living is, to be in connection with what is so grand, so great, so what you are. Isn't that worth taking the time for it? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. The divine yes is yes!
Yes.
Yes! Come on, let's try a divine yes. Yes! Woo! You got it, right? So we're saying yes to life every time. Practice. Maybe practice isn't such a good word, but it's what we got. That's why I said practice, no practice, practice. We're not doing, but we're doing everything. When we're being in this, developing our intuition, and truly being